So these are the Eisois surface chambers, and so if you were to think of the portion of the building that has the yellow terracotta, like that would be just like that's the academy, and the surface academies are that's like where people have more autonomy, which it makes a lot of sense why that would be represented as like an outdoor lounge as opposed to like an indoor classroom. Um, because like it's like, and we kind of want there to be like, and also like when we're like kind of demonstrating creative range and everything like that, it makes a lot of sense that like this lounge would be outdoors, because like people would have more like freedom to sort of like, and more autonomy, and to just kind of like explore their creativity in like an open like setting. And so like to sort of like demonstrate like diversity and inclusion, and um just like a wide range of like opportunity for like students, collaborators, creatives, it makes a lot of sense that we would want there to be like a really spacious like courtyard and a really spacious like lounge area for people to not only learn, but also like to, because I mean, like for example, this is a very like open thing where people like, even if they aren't actually like in class or whatever, like they could just be like, come and hang out and it'll be really cool. And so like it's also important that it connects to like that library there, and to like the aristocracy and the meritocracy, and it's near the palace, because I think that that's all very important. And it's also really important that like that it is visible, and that like, because it's also showing that like the education here is attainable and accessible to as many people as we can have it accessible to. And I think that that's something that is really important. And so when it comes to like design, whether that be interior design or architectural, like I really wanted the design of the buildings and of the academy to represent the curriculum, and to represent the like uh the school's like aesthetic and everything like that. Like the school's aesthetic represents what you're going to actually like see, and what you're going to learn, and what you're going to how you're going to like benefit. And I think that that's like, because I mean, like it's really kind of one of those things like functional design, where the design of the school, like it's supposed to be organic. It's like an organic thing. And so you will kind of like, and like it's also emphasizing the importance of like environmentalism, and just like eco-friendliness and things like that. And I think that that's something that like is really important, because if you can like, and that's why I like the architecture is kind of like blended into and sort of like hugging the terrain and the landscape. And I mean, of course, if you've seen the Sandcraft server, or like Sandcraft online server that is on my channel, you can see that this was a desert, and like there are portions, you know, like in Eisois here in the courtyard, and in the forum, there are portions where there are sand, and like where the terrain has like our magic and our education is melding with the terrain, and like kind of paying homage to that to like the desert that the Sand Fellowship grew from. And so that's like really interesting. And so like the as far as like the imagination side of things goes, like the Eisois also hosts the Sorcerers Guild. And so like when it comes to like our imagination, like we are going to also be teaching people like, hey, this is how you like functionally build Minecraft builds, and you know, create, and how you can make interior design, and how you can do architecture. But then there's also the imaginative side of it, where it's like, okay, so now you're like in game, and you're like actually playing the game with your imagination, and you're like having fun. And it's like, oh, okay, so now you can like, we can explore the Sorcerer's Guild, which is more of an imaginative thing, more of a like lighthearted, fun thing where you can like incorporate your like individuality and your personality into the actual architectural work that you did and the actual interior design work that you did. And so we're really just trying to preserve our humanity by like embedding and incorporating our humanity into the architecture and into the design. And I like that was kind of inspired by like so this build is really inspired by the concept of field day. And what that is like when I was in elementary school, and like there was this thing that they would do each year called field day. And what field day was like the sixth graders, which is like that's the final year in like elementary school schooling, is sixth grade, and so in America, anyways. And so like the sixth graders would there would be field day, and like it would be just like this thing where they like the teachers have all of these like games and things that we all play. And like what would happen is like we would do field day, and the sixth graders would like run field day more or less. And like did not find field day interesting until I was in sixth grade, because like I don't really like to just play games for the sake of playing a game. I like to design things, and I like to like guide people, and I like to like do work. And I've always liked that even since I was like a child. And so like I only really cared about field day when I was in sixth grade. And so that's kind of how I'm like presenting myself to like the world right now, is that like I didn't really care about anything that was happening while like people were like just like having me like while people were having me like just like participate in things that they were doing. I was like, I don't really care about this. But then like once I got to field day, like when I started being able to uh, present my architecture and my creative work, I was like, oh, okay, now I care about this. And that's kind of like what Destruction Day is. That's what After Arrival is. It's just that like I just didn't really care until we got to Field Day, until we got to Phase 6. And that's when I was like, okay, now I care about this. And yeah, that's what the Sand Fellowship is. It's pretty awesome.